curly, like blonde and brown in his beard.
Where do you want to go?
What?
Where do you want to go?
This is what I'm talking about. This thing goes on here. Somehow. Your PVC pipe goes on here. This breaks off. And there's no way to replace it. Now I contacted them by email, and I haven't gotten any response back. It's been 6 months since I've gotten this. It's got a 2-year warranty, so it said. But 2-year warranty, I guess, only lasts for less than 6 months.
Hello fellow crafters, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I was able to set up the double cup turner. This one specifically is cool because you can separate out the cups so that you're not using them side by side, but that you are able to work on one at a time and not have to worry about crossing over, accidentally hitting the other cup or getting any glitter from one cup design onto the one that's next to it. You can separate them out and work on them individually. This was so easy to set up. The instructions were very, very clear and the pictures were so helpful. So I think I set this up in a total of like 15 minutes. It did not take me a really long time and it was not a frustrating process at all. Another thing that I did appreciate was that it came with all of the screws that it needed, and it actually came with extra screws. So in case you lose any while you're setting it up, you know that you have a couple extra screws on hand. It also comes with a screwdriver, and I was planning on using a drill bit to get this assembled, but I found that using the screwdriver gave me a lot more precision and I didn't have to worry about splitting any wood. It comes with pre-drilled holes in all of the pieces that you need to put the screws in. So you don't really need to worry about using a lot of force. It's just about aligning everything right and gently screwing in the screws. I was also having a little bit of difficulty trying to figure out a good angle to rest the device on as I was screwing in the screws, but as I was assembling more and more pieces, I found that it was easier to kind of rest it on certain angles and certain ways. But you definitely want to make sure that you are being very, very careful while doing this because you are using screws and wood splits and wood gets loose very easily. So you want to make sure that you aren't adding any damage before you've even used the product as you're setting it up. While I was setting this up, I did notice that the holders for the poles didn't match what the picture showed. However, it wasn't really a big deal. I've been using this machine since setting it up and I don't really see a difference. I have another wooden turner that has like the full circle where you can stick the pole through and they both work just as good. Because the directions didn't have the piece that I was actually working with, I didn't know which direction I should place the metal discs. So I winded up doing one facing my person and the other one facing the device. After using it a couple of times, I really liked the way that I did side 2, which was facing the metal disc towards myself. And so I later unscrewed that first side and flipped it over. I found it a lot easier to stick the screw all the way through the hole first, and then take the piece that I was attaching it to and aligning that pre-drilled hole with my screw and forcing the piece onto the greater unit instead of trying to kind of place the piece and then fit the screw in and screw it in. It was just a lot easier to do it the other way. When you are attaching the poles to the device, you want to make sure that you are using the screws in the right direction. And you want to make sure that you're being really tight with it because, well, you want to make sure that you're being tight with all of the screws in the piece, but especially with this one, because if you do not set this up right, then it will make your cup extremely wobbly and it'll make designing and doing those intricate designs on your cups very difficult. So look at the directions closely. I think you put the small side facing the pole and the bigger side on the end of the screw. So now I'm just going to put some of the foam roller tips that the set comes with onto the end so that you can see which direction the poles are spinning in. And in order to change the direction of the poles, all you have to do is find the corresponding switch. They're labeled 1 and 2. And you just turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll get it going in the opposite direction. Sometimes you have to do it a couple of tries before it'll actually respond, or you just have to wait a little bit and then give it another go, and eventually you'll get the cup turning in the right direction that you're looking for. All in all, I really love this cup turner. It's lasted me about 20 cups and it's still going strong. I feel like if you're a beginner and you don't really have a whole lot of money to invest in this new art project that you're working on, this is the perfect cup turner for you. Or if you have been using cup turners in the past, this is just a really great addition to your arsenal to kind of get the speed of making cups a lot faster. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that you found all of the information
Some wild, wild story about where he's been, but what he don't know